Tired is a mindset. Commitment is a choice. And you better believe there's a world of difference between the two. You can tell yourself you're tired, and guess what? You'll feel tired. You'll act tired. You'll slow down. But let me tell you something. That's not because your body gave out. It's because your mind gave up. The body follows the mind, and if the mind is weak, everything else falls apart. Winners don't give themselves that option. They don't say, I'm tired. They say, I'm not done. There's a fire in their belly that keeps burning even when the tank feels empty. Why? Because they've made a decision. A decision that quitting is not an option. A decision that pain is part of the journey. A decision that they didn't come this far just to come this far. You see, commitment isn't based on how you feel. It's based on what you decide. And once you make a decision, really make it, then tired doesn't get a say anymore. You don't get to vote on whether or not to show up. You don't debate it. You just go, you move, you push, because you know what's waiting on the other side of that wall. You know what's at stake. Everyone gets tired. That's human. But champions keep going when everyone else calls it a day. That's what separates good from great. That's what creates the kind of legacy people remember. It's not about never feeling exhausted. It's about refusing to let that exhaustion decide your fate. When your legs shake, when your lungs burn, when your mind screams for comfort, you remind yourself why you started. You reach for that reason and you keep going. That's how battles are won, not with talent alone, not with motivation that fades, but with relentless commitment, unshakable, non-negotiable, deeply rooted commitment to a vision that's bigger than the pain. And once that's locked in, tired becomes nothing more than background noise. Because if you let tired be your excuse, it'll be your story. But if you let commitment lead, tired will be just another mile marker on the road to your destiny. So don't back down, don't give in. Get up, show up, and win the day. Success demands 120% effort every single day. Not just when you feel like it, not just when the sun is shining or the crowd is cheering. Every single day, when no one's watching, when no one's clapping, when you're alone with your thoughts and the grind is real, that's when it counts the most. Most people give just enough to get by. They give 80% and wonder why they're stuck. They show up half-hearted hoping for full results, but that's not how greatness works. That's not how legacies are made. If you want to stand out in a world full of average, you've got to give more than what's expected. You've got to outwork, outlast, and outfight the doubt that lives in most people's hearts. Because 100% is the minimum. You hear me? The minimum. That gets you in the game. That keeps you from getting cut. But if you want to win, if you want to dominate, lead, inspire, and rise, you've got to go past that. You've got to give that extra 20% that most people leave on the table. You've got to pour out everything you've got and then dig deeper for more. And let me tell you something, it won't always feel good. There'll be days you don't want to wake up, days your body aches and your spirit is tired. But that's where champions are made. That's where the real players show up. Not with excuses, but with energy. Not with complaints, but with commitment. You think Kobe Bryant didn't feel pain? You think Muhammad Ali didn't have days where he wanted to rest? Of course they did. But they gave 120%. That's why they're remembered. That's why their names carry weight long after the lights went out. And here's the truth. If you can give your best when you feel your worst, there's nothing in this world that can stop you. The edge belongs to the one who refuses to hold anything back. The person who walks off that field, that gym, that meeting, knowing they didn't save anything for later. So next time you show up, ask yourself, am I here to play or am I here to win? Because winners leave it all on the floor. And if you want what only a few have, you must do what only a few are willing to do. You got to want it so bad it keeps you up at night. I'm not talking about a casual desire. I'm not talking about some vague dream you entertain when life gets quiet. I'm talking about a hunger that consumes you. A fire that burns so deep inside your gut it pushes you out of bed before the alarm rings. That kind of want, the relentless kind, is what separates the great from the good, the elite from the average. See, everybody says they want success. Everybody talks a good game, but few are willing to pay the price. Few are willing to trade comfort for commitment, because that's what it takes. It takes obsession, not interest, not motivation that fades after the music stops playing. Obsession, where your goals become your lifestyle, where your vision is tattooed on your soul, and every action, every thought, every step is aligned with that purpose. You got to want it more than you want to sleep in, more than you want to blend in, more than you want to be liked. Because when you're obsessed, you don't chase applause, you chase progress. You don't ask, is this too much? You ask, is this enough? You don't complain when it gets hard, you expect it to get hard. You welcome it, you shake hands with it, because you know the struggle is the pathway to strength. Obsession means being okay with being misunderstood. It means walking alone at times, because most people won't get it. They won't get why you train harder, stay later, study longer. They'll say you're too intense. They'll say you need to relax. But you know better. You know the truth. The obsessed don't stop until the job is done. And even then, they're already planning the next move. If you're going to rise to the top, you can't do it casually. Casual effort leads to casual results. But the obsessed, the ones who eat, breathe, and live their mission, they change the world. They become the names people remember, the examples people follow, the standard others chase. So if you're going to do it with all you've got. Don't just want it so bad it becomes who you are. Because when you move with that kind of passion, the world has no choice but to move with you. Everybody wants the crown, but nobody wants the cross. Everybody wants the prize, but not the process. The truth is, success demands sacrifice. You can't cheat the grind, you can't outsmart the hustle. The only way to win at the highest level is to give something up, to trade what's comfortable for what's necessary. And let me tell you something, there's a price to pay. Not in dollars, not in applause, but in sweat, in solitude, in the silence where nobody's clapping for you yet. See, when you're talking about rising above the crowd, you got to be willing to do what the crowd won't. That means saying no when everyone else says yes. That means pushing past the limits you used to believe were real. It means giving up the late nights for early mornings, trading friends who drain you for habits that grow you, and walking away from temporary pleasure so you can build permanent power. Because every level you reach will demand a deeper version of you. You want to be the best? You better ask yourself, what am I willing to let go of? Are you willing to give up your excuses? Are you willing to lay down your fears, your doubts, and your comfort zone? Because comfort never built a champion. Champions are forged in the fire of discomfort. And in that fire, your old self burns off, so the stronger version can rise. People want to win, but they forget winning is lonely. The top of the mountain isn't crowded, it's steep. It's quiet and it's cold, but it's also where you find the view that changes your life. Sacrifice isn't about pain, it's about making room for your greatness. It's not punishment, it's preparation. And understand this, the world won't always see your sacrifice. That's okay, because sacrifice isn't for show, it's for self. The gym sessions nobody sees, the late nights studying when no one's clapping, the mornings you drag yourself out of bed with no cheering crowd. That's where the real work is done. That's where champions are built. Don't run from sacrifice, embrace it. Because if you want to stand on the podium, if you want to wear the gold, you better be willing to bleed for it when nobody's watching. You can have the best talent in the world, but if you don't execute, it means nothing. Execution is the great separator. The world is full of people with big dreams, fancy ideas, and bold talk. But only a few will show up every single day and do the work. That's the difference. Execution is not about having the perfect plan. It's about taking the imperfect action. It's about pushing through fear, fatigue, and failure, and doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. Too many people wait for the perfect moment. They wait for motivation, wait for inspiration, wait for someone to come along and light a fire under them. But winners don't wait, they move. They act. They show up before they feel ready, and they stay in motion even when the road gets rough. Because they understand that results don't come from intention, they come from execution. You got to get to a place where doing the work becomes your identity. Not just something you do when it's convenient, not something you pick up when you're feeling good, but something that's in your bones. You wake up with it, you live with it, you breathe it. That's what separates the average from the elite. It's not talent, it's not luck. It's consistency. It's discipline. It's the ability to execute with precision again and again and again. And here's the truth, there will be days when you don't feel like it. When everything in you is begging for comfort, that's when the test comes. That's when you find out who you really are. Because anyone can show up when it's easy. But it's when it's hard, when it's boring, when it's painful, that's when execution matters most. Don't let the dream die in your mouth because you didn't move your feet. Don't let your potential rot in your heart because you didn't take action. Greatness isn't waiting for you on a stage. It's waiting for you in the dark when no one's watching and it's just you and the work. That's where it lives. That's where it grows. You want success? Don't just wish for it, work for it. Don't just plan for it, execute. Everybody wants to win, but not everybody's willing to move different. Success doesn't come from doing what everyone else is doing. It comes from going left when the crowd goes right. It comes from working while they sleep, grinding while they party, and studying while they waste time. When you're chasing greatness, you can't afford to blend in. You've got to stand out. And that means making decisions that feel lonely, sacrifices that feel heavy, and moves that most people won't understand. You see, there's a reason the top is not crowded. It's because the climb demands more than most are willing to give. It demands you say no when everyone else is saying yes. It demands you push past comfort and embrace discomfort. It demands that you move with a purpose, not with popularity. That's what it means to move different. When the competition is laughing and relaxing, the greats are refining their craft. When others are negotiating with their excuses, the winners are negotiating with their limits. Moving different means you no longer care about being liked. You care about being legendary. You care about mastering your moment, not managing someone else's opinion. That's a mindset only the uncommon possess. Even in silence, your actions speak volumes. The way you train, the way you show up, the way you carry yourself, every bit of it reflects how serious you are. People may not understand you now, but they'll study you later. They'll wonder how you did it, how you climbed so high, how you got so far. And the answer will always be, I move different. It's not about being better than anyone else. It's about being better than who you were yesterday. It's about leaving excuses behind and taking personal ownership of your mission. You weren't made to follow. You were made to lead. You were made to do something uncommon. You were made to create impact. And that will never happen if you live your life by the standards of the average. So if you want uncommon results, start making uncommon choices. Don't match energy, raise it. Don't wait for a lane, build one. Don't follow the trend, set it. The path to the top isn't lit with streetlights. It's lit with vision, hunger, and the courage to move different. You have to own your responsibility in everything you do. Too many people spend their lives blaming others for their lack of progress. They point fingers at their circumstances, their upbringing, or the system. But the truth is, the power to change your life lies within you. It's not about what others do, it's about what you do. You can't wait for the world to give you what you want. You have to take it. When you step up and take ownership, everything changes. You stop making excuses and start making decisions. You stop relying on luck and start trusting in your effort. Your results become your responsibility. Whether you succeed or fail, you're the one in control of that outcome. That's freedom. Freedom comes with accountability, with knowing that you are the driver of your own journey. Too many people expect things to fall into place without putting in the necessary work. But that's not how success works. If you want it, you have to work for it every day, consistently, with no shortcuts. The moment you take responsibility for your actions, you take back your power. No one can stop you then. Not your situation, not your past, not the people around you. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters where you finish. Own your story, own your choices, own the grind. When you do that, the world will have no choice but to acknowledge your efforts. Because success doesn't come to the ones who wait for permission. It comes to the ones who show up, who put in the work, and who own every moment. Your journey is yours to create, so take control and keep moving forward. The path to success is filled with challenges, obstacles, and moments when giving up seems easier than pushing forward. But it's in those moments, when everything feels like it's falling apart, that you must stand tall and keep moving. You see, the real measure of your strength isn't in how you perform when everything is easy. It's in how you respond when everything is tough. It's about your ability to endure, to persevere when others would quit. And that's where greatness is born. When life hits you hard, when the world says no and throws every obstacle in your path, you have two choices. You can either fold under the pressure, or you can rise and keep fighting. Every time you get knocked down and choose to stand back up, you're building something that no one can take from you. Strength, character, and resilience. That is what separates the greats from the rest. It's not the talent, it's not the opportunities, it's the unwavering determination to keep moving, no matter what. There's a power in persistence, in refusing to accept defeat no matter how many times life knocks you down. Each setback, each failure, each rejection is simply a lesson in disguise. It's not the end of your story unless you decide it is. You have the choice to keep going, to find a way, to push through the pain and make it to the other side. That's what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. The ability to hold on just a little longer when everyone else is ready to let go. Success isn't handed to you, it's earned day by day through grit, hard work, and sacrifice. It requires a mindset that refuses to quit. It demands that you embrace the struggle, knowing that it's part of the process. The path to greatness isn't easy, but it's worth it. Because at the end of that road, when you look back and see how far you've come, you'll realize that every bit of pain, every sacrifice, every moment you thought about giving up was worth it. Keep pushing, keep fighting, because your victory is just beyond the struggle. As we wrap up today, remember that the road to success is never easy, but it's always worth it. The challenges, the setbacks, and the obstacles are all part of the journey. They test your resolve, your character, and your dedication. But with every step forward, you're growing stronger, wiser, and more capable. Don't let anyone or anything stop you from chasing your dreams. Own your journey, trust in your efforts, and believe that success is not just possible, it's inevitable if you're willing to work for it. Good luck on your path, and may you have the strength to rise above every challenge. Keep pushing, keep believing, and remember, greatness is within you. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your commitment to greatness. You're capable of more than you know, so go out there and make it happen. Thank you, and subscribe for more.